No qualifying, no heats, straight to the race. As they line up, it's going to be Corey Goodall, George Edenfield on the front row, John Bennett, Chris Standridge on the second row, David Baldessare, Chad Biesinger on the third row, Tom Land, Wayne Bridges on the fourth row, Blake Lishka rounding out the field. A pill draw start here, and obviously, actually it looks like it was done based on their times. They might have had that set as open qualifying, because Corey Goodall was the fastest big block. He is at the front. Chris Standridge was the fastest 358. He's at the front of that group, and you have to wonder, can these 358s get past the bigger, more horsepower cars early in the run? And if so, what kind of chaos could we see here tonight? David Baldessare on pit road for some reason, not taken to the grid, so they are going to get pacing and get ready to go racing. Two pace laps around this 3/10 of a mile track, and then they're going to go for it. Bit of a tricky track, like a lot of others, like a lot of other dirt tracks, I should say. The turns are actually substantially wider than the straightaways. You see a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing here in those turns, but that 4 wide does not work out so well when you get to the straightaways. We could see that cause some issues, especially early on. Pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air. They're down and away. Corey Goodall trying to get a good jump into turn 1, and he is going to secure the lead. Chris Standridge currently in the lead of the 358s, trying to find his way around those big blocks. The missile not far behind, down on the bottom. We did see in practice the 358s preferred the bottom, the big blocks preferring the top. But these guys are having to go where they can find space early on. Corey Goodall starting to pull away from the field a little bit. Chris Standridge has managed to get past John Bennett, and now he is starting to work his way to the front. And Corey Goodall is really starting to monster it. He is laying down some extremely fast laps, but now Chris Standridge starting to almost clear George Edenfield here. Tom Land has managed to get around John Bennett a little further back. Biesinger starting to close in on Bennett. Blake Lishka a little bit further back. Wayne Bridges a little further back. David Baldessare out on track, but he is a couple of laps down now. Not sure what happened at the start, but he did not grid and had to start from pit road. Now is when we see which car really is faster. The 358 of Chris Standridge in the middle of 2 big block mods, driven by Corey Goodall up front, and Tom Land. Oh, Tom Land just pulled ahead. He just pulled ahead of John Bennett. So now the 358s are starting to work their way forward. Looks like Bennett is about to be under attack from Chad Biesinger. Meanwhile, Corey Goodall is starting to be run down by Chris Standridge. Chris has actually now beat Corey's fastest lap. Tom Land running second in the 358s, third on the track right now, is trying to run these two down, but he has got a 2.3 second gap. Corey and Chris, though, they're probably going to end up in lap traffic before too much longer. Blake Lishka has an incident. Caution is out. Oh, Corey Goodall catches a piece of it. There goes Blake up to the high side, and oh, he blinks and catches the wall. And trying to back up and get moving, Corey Goodall nowhere to go and just ends up getting yeeted across the track. Corey Goodall ended up having to tow to pit road. That gives the overall lead and the 358 lead, I do believe, will go to Chris Standridge now. Tom Land currently in second. The first big block is John Bennett, then George Edenfield. They're currently third and fourth on track. Interesting turn of events as Corey was the fastest big block out there, but his having to tow, he's going to lose a ton of ground. And it looks like Baldessare is going to get his laps back, so he is back on the lead lap. And his fastest laps have been equal to the leaders, so we could see him start making his way forward as well. Looks like Blake still has a bit of a blinking issue. That could come into play yet again as the pace car drops into pit road. Green flag is back in the air as they start lap 14. Through 1 and 2, everybody staying pretty much where they are, but Tom Land starting to make an attack on the high side, trying to get past the 22 of Chris Standridge. Chris clears him out of 4 just barely. Corey Goodall is now back out on track, but he is several laps down. And Chris Standridge starting to pull away just a little bit from Tom Land. Tom in second. George Edenfield in the big block in third. John Bennett in fourth. And here comes Biesinger. He is third in the 358s right now, and he is marching his way through the field. Wayne Bridges hanging out back there as well. Expect Wayne to start coming forward, especially once the track slicks off. Chris Standridge just laid down the fastest lap of the race again. He's done that every lap since they went green. He has bested his best lap every time. And it looks like he just ran out of best laps, possibly, as he was 2/100ths of a second slower that lap. Tom Land currently in second. George Edenfield, the first big block mod, third on track. Chad Biesinger, fourth on track in the 358. John Bennett now back to fifth. Wayne Bridges actually starting to close in on the big block of John Bennett. And this might play out with the 358s being the fastest car out there for the whole race. This track was picked for this event because of the closeness of the speeds, especially over the course of an entire race. But Chris Standridge just said, no, never mind, I'll just run it the fastest. Caution is out. And it looks like it is the 9 car again. Oh, I do not know what is happening with that 9 car, but it looks like he blinked and hit the wall. And that, we're going to check something happened to Bennett as well. Oh, there it is. John Bennett, where did he go? There's Bennett in the 20 car. He had a little bit of an issue. I think it's just blink related. But due to the 9 car blinking, it's triggered a bunch of warnings about different cars having issues. All right, Chris Standridge still in the lead. Tom Land in second. The top 3 are now 358s. Then George Edenfield in the big block back and forth. Green flag back in the air. Chris choosing to restart on the bottom, giving Tom Land the high side. The bottom has been the preferred line for the 358s all night. George Edenfield now up to third, the top running big block. But here come the 358s. Here comes Biesinger. Wayne Bridges is following him through as well. Tom Land and George Edenfield have been battling it out. The interesting thing is George in that big block would probably prefer the high line, and Tom probably would prefer the low line, but they keep staying side by side and haven't been able to switch lines. Looks like George backs off a little bit, giving himself an opportunity to hop to the high side. We'll see if Tom the Missile Land drops to the bottom. Chris Standridge just ran another fastest lap, a 13.25, and Tom Land way out by the wall gets together with Edenfield. Edenfield's going backwards. A couple of close calls there. Edenfield managing to gather it up. Everybody keeps the cars going the right way, but meanwhile, Chris Standridge has started to pull away. 1.7 second lead over Tom the Missile Land. Third place is Chad Biesinger, but that could change at any moment given this mess back here. And it does look like the big blocks are starting to come into their own. That extra power really starting to show up as you see Edenfield there on the high side. Wayne Bridges trying to fight his way through. Edenfield has a good battle going, but the 23 of Chad Biesinger looks like he's about to clear him. Caution! John Bennett. Oh, Bennett just drifts up in front of Corey Goodall, and Corey had nowhere to go. Bennett ends up going around. Minor or no real damage and no real impact, but bringing out the caution. All right, Chris Standridge, Tom Land, Chad Biesinger have the top three spots in the 358s. George Edenfield in fourth in the big block. Wayne Bridges fifth in the 358. And Blake Lishka is really having some connection issues tonight. Chris choosing the inside line again. Pace truck is in. Green flag is back in the air. Tom gets a good restart up on the high side, but still that bottom line paying off for Chris as he starts to try and pull away again. Meanwhile, Edenfield trying to use all that extra power to send it straight through the field. He is all over the back bumper of Tom Land. Can't get enough room to clear anybody, though. You can definitely see he is starting to pick up some speed here. And with 14 laps to go, he might still have some time. If he can get some room to run, he might be able to fight his way up there to Chris Standridge. Chad Biesinger has crashed. No caution yet. Let's see what happened to Chad. Oh, the 23 gets down into the corner. The 92 and the 3 are there. They all managed to keep the cars going the right way. And that's no caution. Now Chris Standridge has a 0.6 of a second lead over the Missile. Caution is out now. Looks like Wayne Bridges may be involved this time. Oh, the 3 car gets completely sideways and Wayne has nowhere to go. And David Baldessere definitely sending it in there a little too deep. The back end went around on him, giving Wayne Bridges really nowhere to go. But this time, Corey Goodall has managed to make his way up to 4th on track. He is the 2nd place running big block. Chris Standridge still leading in the 358. Tom the Missile Land in 2nd. George Edenfield, Corey Goodall, 3rd and 4th. Those 2 are in the big blocks. Pace truck is in. Big blocks are starting to come on. Can they do something here? Oh, Chris delays his restart and looked like he might have slowed Edenfield up just a little bit. Edenfield looked like he was trying to get a little bit of a jump on the restart, but had to check up a little bit. He now gets past Corey. Corey drops down to the bottom. And now Corey Goodall going for 30, gets a little help. I don't think that was Edenfield's intention, but he helped send him down the front straightaway. And now here comes Corey Goodall right to the back bumper of the 358s of Chris Standridge and Tom Land. Meanwhile, Tom Land at the line was in the lead, and Tom Land is taking the lead. The Missile is out front for the first time tonight. Could Tom Land be the first 3-time winner this season? Chris Standridge trying to hold on to 2nd, but here comes Corey Goodall in the big block, and he is definitely starting to make up some speed. Now that the track is slicked off, he gets to put down a lot more of that power. And it'll be 4 to go for the Missile. Chris trying to hold that bottom, find some momentum, but Tom wall riding it all the way around the track, making up a lot of time. And pulling off the corners, pulls ahead each and every time. And caution is out with just 3 laps to go, 2.5 laps to go. Caution. Looks like John Bennett and Wayne Bridges involved. And looks like the 20 just got up there in the slick, tried to turn it around, and Wayne just came around the corner with nowhere to go again. So we will get a green-white checkered, and Tom the Missile Land will get his lane choice for the restart. Fully expect Tom to stay and restart on the top since he'll control the restart, and he can obviously make that top line work extremely well for him. Now it looks like they're going to single file restart this time, so it definitely is benefiting Tom. Pace truck is in. Green flag is back in the air. It'll be 2 to go at the line for Tom the Missile Land, but Chris Standridge not done with him yet. Chris down to the bottom through 1 and 2. Makes up no ground on that move. Corey Goodall back there in 3rd is the top running big block. White flag is in the air for the Missile. He clears him on the high side, goes into turn 3. Tom Land up top. Corey Goodall trying to pull up as well, but it will not be enough. Tom the Missile Land wins his 3rd race of the season. Chris Standridge comes home 2nd in the 358s, and Corey Goodall is the top running big block. All right, let's see if we can talk to a few drivers. Hey Tom, it's Doug, you got me?
I gotcha.
You have earned your nickname tonight for sure.
Oh man, that was good. I can't believe it. I can't believe the top finally came in.
It definitely looked like it early on that the top was never going to come in, and then all of a sudden on one of those restarts, you were just gone up there.
Yeah, once I kept trying it, and I kept sticking to it too long, and then he'd get out, and I kept thinking, I'm never going to get him back. And yeah, that restart when I took off and it stuck, I was like, okay, now don't screw up.
Well, you definitely did, man, and you're the first three-time winner of the season.
Ah, that's awesome.
Well, the missile is definitely dominant so far this season.
That's cool. I like it.
Congratulations, man, and look forward to seeing you wrecking some more cars here in a few minutes.
All righty, thank you, sir.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Mr. Goodall, who finished first in the big blocks. Hey, Corey, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, I have to ask. It really looked like late in the run that that those big blocks really started to come alive. How many more laps would you have needed to get around those two 358s?
Probably another 50. I would have needed it to slick off to be able to really get around them. Plus, my right rear, I was just roasting it.
Well, you definitely couldn't tell, man. We saw you come through the field after the early incident, going a couple laps down to still come back, finish third overall, and first in the big blocks was quite an accomplishment tonight.
Hey, thanks. It was a lot of fun.
It definitely looked like it. Well, congratulations, buddy. Good, great race.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, let's see if we can get a word with Chris. Hey, Chris, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, so what did you do? Did you take the illegal parts out of your car before the green flag dropped?
No, just the inside went away. Same old, same old.
Well, once you got down there, you were really committed. What in the world? I don't know what George just did, but he was literally I think he might have blown his right rear tire. It definitely looked like you had something, and you just kept pulling away on the bottom. But that, a couple, two restarts before the end, all of a sudden the missile just took off.
Yeah, just that. I toyed with taking the outside line to do the restart, but the track still looked pretty good down low there, and I'd been able to get a pretty good jump on Tom, so I thought, no, I'll do one more out on the bottom, and then it bit me there. He got just enough ahead of me to take the lead, and I just couldn't get it back.
Well, it was still an awesome battle to watch, and I do think probably 20, Corey said another 50 laps. I'm thinking 20 to 25, you probably would have gotten run over by some big blocks.
Oh, yeah, they were coming. I was thinking about it before when I talked about how the big blocks do better later. That was back when we were running 100-lap races on this track. So.
Oh, yeah, that does make a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. You at least finished second in the 358s and had one heck of a run.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, the big blocks versus 358s kind of settled here. On a shorter race, the 358s will come out on top. In a longer race, the big blocks will always come to the front, and that is definitely played out here tonight. Stick around. We'll be right back with the Enduro from the Charlotte Legends Oval in the 34 Legends cars. Yeah, that's going to be nuts. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.